Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another BJ&Co Minecraft Skyfactory 3 mod achievement guide for you. We are continuing on our journey through this wonderful achievement book and working our way through things. If you have missed some of the previous episodes and want to get caught up, we are just starting the Stone Age right now, but you can check out the link to the playlist in the description below. And if you guys have been enjoying these, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for updates when the new content goes live. But what are we doing today? That's what you all want to know. Well, because nobody made comments in the previous one, we're just going to continue straight to the Stone Age. We won't jump around. And within the Stone Age, though, we will do a bit of jumping around. So today, there's 4 things that I want to tackle for us today because they're all kind of together. The first is we want to make a dark room 25 blocks away from your base for spawning mobs and obtaining loot. Now, I'm going to pair this one kind of nicely with this one down here of building a second layer below the level we started from, which will be 25 blocks away below. But lets us tackle 2 things at once. And then while we're at it, we don't want just a room where we can kill things. We want something that will kill things automatically. So we're going to jump down and ensure that we have the things that we need in order to kill monsters automatically. And then finally, because we're building kind of areas away from our base, we're going to work on the field of grass so we can get some passive mobs as well at the same time. All those wonderful animals. So that is what we're tackling today. First things first, as we are kind of getting into this. Last episode, we did finish with the cobblestone generator, so we do have a constant supply of cobblestone, which is fantastic. No more building stones, putting stones together. We do also have the furnace that we used to get the glass last time, which means now you can just throw logs in here. You can use logs for fuel. You can use logs up here to make charcoal. Once you have charcoal with 1 stick, you can make the torches that everybody should know and love, because that will be super important for us. Because if we just go and build out this way, like you can see I kind of started here, the mobs will just start spawning at night without anything to light them up, and you don't want that. So that's kind of the big caveat of, if you're starting to expand, make sure you've got some torches on hand to do so, which I actually don't. Where did I put them? Where did I put them? As you guys can see, as we're going out to do this, I have been expanding things a little bit just to get some higher production. Haven't added anything on that we have not talked about, so there's nothing you haven't seen before, but let's get going with this. So, first things first, we're going to start out there with the area for passive mobs. We'll do that first so the grass can get growing. As you know, earlier we had been sieving, and when we sieved dirt through the sieves with the string mesh, we were getting grass seeds. So we'll need those today, as well as we will need some dirt, because grass won't grow on wood, that's for sure. So you can see out here, guys, I've just made a single path. Feel free to make your paths as interesting as you'd like. I would like to build onto this, make this prettier. So if you've got suggestions of what you'd like to see, throw it in the comments below. But once we get out here, I've measured this. This is at least 25 blocks out. And then we're just going to start dropping our dirts down. And I'm not going to make this too big. We'll see. Okay, so that's a 3x3. Let's do so that's 4x4. So then that's 5x5. So this is going to be 25 out. That's not a bad place to start. So this is 25. We'll throw that down. That little X here, guys, this is if you use your F7. Toggles that on and off, and that tells you what the light level is. So if there's no X's and everything, you know you're completely fine, nothing will spawn. But if there are those little X's, throw a torch down, and you know once they go away, you know for sure no mobs will spawn there. But dirt's not good enough, grass won't grow here, so we're just going to drop a few seeds down, get some grass growing. And as soon as you've got 1 piece of grass down, then the grass will just keep spreading further and further. But for now, I've dropped the 4 down, and that's that. That is literally all we need to do in that achievement book, and then eventually we will have our mobs start spawning there. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the rest of the episode, but all in all, right now we've actually made a field of grass, and we can keep growing that, make it bigger, use some farming stuff and everything down there, but for now that is perfect. So now our next step, before we can actually build the mob area, we want to work on a second layer. Now the second layer is always one of the most interesting things that people do in this game, because it can go very bad or very wrong very fast. So what I'm just going to do, you can see here I'm dumping everything that I may not need out of my inventory. What I suggest that you're going to need for this is some sort of building block. I'm just using our oak planks right now. Some sort of slab, because as we're building a mob area down here, how we want it to work is we do not want the mobs to be able to spawn outside of any of the actual farm itself. So slabs, half slabs will not be counted as a block that they can be spawned on. You can also use things like glass, that sort of stuff. But if you just make a flat ground around it, it will still, the game will still check each block that's placed there to see, can I spawn on here or not? And it kind of slows down the spawning process. So half slabs. And then of course we're going to want some ladder. And then the trick for this one, what we need is we need some water. And the reason is because really from here, just standing up here, there's no real good way for us to try to build down unless I just jumped off the edge, died. When you die, it makes a gravestone on a dirt block, and then try to jump down again, but the height's so high that I would die. So we need a way to make our way down. Now, I'm sure you'll yell at me when you get off, but I have started doing some work down there just to save some time. But in situations like this, when you're just on the flat side, you just take your bucket of water, drop it off the side. See, we get this nice little column. Now, if we jump into this, we'll fall down. And you can use your space bar to float up. You kind of want to float on the outside, too, of the water so that you can still breathe. And then you can start building underneath. So you can see here, I'm starting to work down. And then you can place your ladders on the side of it. Boom, boom, boom. And you can work your way all the way down. When you get right near the bottom, you can actually see the water starts to have issues and fall off the side and everything. But, so we're just going to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going down. We're going down, digging deeper. Oh, I guess I can just jump a little bit. Ooh, ouch. So eventually you'll get to the bottom. It's very, very possible that you will die when you get to the bottom because I am literally on the lowest I can get. If we have 3 this here. So I am sitting on Y half. So this is on the very, very bottom. So, I mean, that's Y1 right there at the very top of it. So it is very likely trying to place your last block, you will die. But the nice thing about that is it will put a dirt block as low as it can possibly go right there. And it can be your starting space, and then you can just build your way off around this. Now, in terms of direction that you want to build, it really doesn't matter. The mob farm that we're going to make is not huge. One thing that you can keep into consideration is in order to get some spawning consistently, it's best to build in the same kind of sub-chunk here. So here you can see we're kind of butted right up against the edge of this chunk. So I'm going to want to build out this direction and keep this farm all within this chunk here. And that just forces it so that the game's not loading more at once. It's only checking one chunk at a time to try to get the mobs spawning. So how to pull this up is just F9 the first time will get you the red lines for the corners. And then you hit it again and it'll get kind of the green lines in between to show you. But just to give us an idea of what we're looking for. So that is that. Now, we've got our space out. The tough thing is, what are we gonna do to build the room out of? Oh, getting up is almost one of the hardest. Jeez. So as we're heading up there, there's many different mindsets around how that you would like to do this. One of the reasons that we're going down to build this, there are many mob farms that work kind of up vertically where you start at the level you're at, build up from there, and then force the mobs to fall and die in that direction. But we're doing this down because the Minecraft world actually starts by checking from the bottom up for how the mobs spawn. So by building it straight to the bottom, we're going to let the mobs spawn quickest by doing it that way. So. But now what we are looking for here is, there's a couple things that we're going to be going for. So we need something that will automatically kill the monsters. We don't really want to use height damage because that takes a lot of space. But in this mod pack, there's something fantastic called stone spikes. And this is literally a spike that will damage anything that runs into it. It's fairly easy to make. Cobblestone, you know how to get. We've got that automatically. Our stone swords, that is literally, if we just jump over here. Oh, I'm not going to have what I need for it. Because I stashed everything. Everything is awesome. Okay, so like a stone sword, if you do not know how to make swords, guys, is literally just your 2 pieces of material plus a stick. That gets us a stone sword, simple and easy. Then we also need this compressed cobblestone, and that is very easy. It's just 9 pieces of cobble, just like that, and you get 1 piece of compressed cobblestone. So, a very easy, oh, that was weird how it did that. Very easy recipe. Just need lots of cobble, a little bit of sticks. Boom. We have Stone spikes going on right there. So these are, you can see if we place them down, if I walk into it, ow, ow. So that will be very handy for us. We will use it in a very simple way down below. Now the other thing that we want to get our hands on, oh, that's annoying. Make sure you pick them up with the right thing. Yeah, I didn't pick up a pickaxe, so I lost one of them. So the other thing that we're looking for, guys, is we need a way to kind of push things into the stone spikes because, you know, yes, the enemies will slowly walk into it if it's a small confined space, but that's not efficient. We want to make things work a little bit more efficient. So there's this wonderful thing called a mob fan. And this is not super expensive. It takes 4 stone slabs, 4 iron ingots, and a redstone. And really the hardest thing, I mean, stone, we can smelt stone, no problem. We got a furnace going. You can make as many furnaces as you want. Easy peasy. Iron, fairly easy to get because sieving all that gravel that we were earlier, we do have some iron that we can make and smelt into ingots. And then we need redstone. And redstone, this is a tougher one. Currently, there's not really, we've got nothing we can mine. We don't have chickens yet. We don't have mana infusion or crushers or any of that fun stuff. But we do have a sieve. And with the sieve, we're looking at dust. So if we use some dust, we can get this. But you'll notice here, the meshes that we can use are either the iron stiffened or the diamond stiffened mesh in order to get the redstone. So we need an iron stiffened mesh. Fairly easy. 4 iron ingots and some string. So we're just going to go into here. We're going to grab all these iron ore pieces we got before. All you need to do with these is in a 4x4 gets you a iron chunk, or sorry, a 2x2. Drop it in the smeltery, and that will start spitting out some iron ore for you. If we take a look out there, guys, just taking a peek, and the grass is slowly spreading, but we don't have any animals yet. So while that's smelting, let's grab our hands on a few more pieces of string. And if you guys are low on iron, don't quite have enough to get what you need, now that you've got the cobble generator, it's very easy. I should grab my hammer as well. You don't need to now have to work with dirt anymore, which is fantastic. So we've got our stone hammer, and I'm actually going to make us a second one because this one is likely going to break fairly quickly. So if we just drop our cobble down, and this is nice, you know, I mean, vein miner is fantastic. Drop a bunch of cobble down and vein mine the whole thing into whatever you need. So gravel, I mean, gravel's a good one to get the ore chunks out of. And now if to speed up your sieving, you can see what I've done here is as long as sieves are touching on one of the sides, if you go to sieve something, so I've got 17 pieces of gravel, I've got 8 sieves with string mesh going on here. If I right click once, it'll actually fill all 7 of those. So you can make like a 64 by grid, right? So it's got 64 different sieves in it. You could right click once and sieve a whole stack at once. And then you just keep right clicking like you do here and boom, spits a whole bunch of stuff out for me. Do that a couple times. And then as soon as your stack runs out, it only does what it can. But there, so we've got, I mean, wasn't a huge amount out of that, but we do have a little bit more ore going on there. So way to speed up your sieving now that we've got basically unlimited cobblestone. So we've got 7 iron ingots right here. So let's make our mesh. So we need 4 of these down here and then fill the rest with string. And we've got our iron stiffened mesh going on now. Toss our iron stiffened mesh here. And now if we grab some dust, dust. And of course, I don't have much in the way of dust. So I'm just going to hammer ourselves out a package of this. So this is like one of the hardest parts early game in Skyfactory, guys, is just the slow grind of getting the materials that you need to do what you want to do. So that's what we're just going to work on a little bit here as we're working on this, and then we'll show you how to set up the mob fan and everything. But this should be quick. This should be very quick. The efficiencies of putting everything together goes such a long way. Like the fact that you can save everything at once. There is also something to explore if you're interested, is a compressed hammer. And how that works is it actually allows you to, like a compressed cobblestone is 9 pieces of cobble together, right? So it will actually let you turn the compressed cobblestone into compressed sand, into compressed gravel, compressed sand, compressed dust. So it's a very easy way to work on that side of things and work through things faster, because you compress one of them, you only have to place one, you only have to compress one at a time, so it's a little bit faster. And then there's also a heavy sieve, which is just a little bit different crafting recipe, which will allow you, ooh, I see redstone, guys. It will allow you to sieve the actual compressed gravel, sand, dust, which will speed things up a little bit for you. I've never been a huge fan of the compressed stuff, but especially because you can make these sieve arrays, I like to call them. It does cost you more materials just trying to get the correct meshes in all of them and everything. It can get a little expensive that way, but as a whole, I find it works until I can get the auto sieving and everything going on, which is my babies. I like to keep that going, and it helps us out quite a bit. So we're getting close to what we need. I see we have the one redstone. Ideally, we would like 3 other pieces of iron ore so that we can get that going. Where are we sitting at now? Oh, we got enough iron ore. Beautiful. So jump into here. We're going to get our iron ore going. Ooh, chucking things out now. So we're going to get our last piece of iron ore. We've got our redstone, which means we just need to make some stone slabs as well. 1 set of stone slabs. Come on, furnace. Done. So now in here, we need 1 redstone. We need 4 pieces of iron. We need not a compass, but a mob fan. And then we are also going to need a lever, which I always can't for the life of me remember how to use. Okay, cobble and a stick. So easy, yet I'm so stupid. If you want to laugh at me for that, please put it in the comments below, because I always appreciate it. My dad, I grew up with my family laughing at me, so it doesn't, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Trust me, guys. You really won't. And now let's head on down there. So now that we've got our ladder up, we can just jump off the side, slowly work our way down. And bless the rains down in Africa. Oh. So this is a little embarrassing. This is why you torch things. So that you don't end up dying to that sort of stuff. Oh, I didn't frickin' bring the frickin'... Be back in a second, guys. Nom, 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 nom. Alright, so now that I'm not being a complete numpty, and I actually brought down some torches this time, we can get going on this. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger for us, just so we have a bit more room to work. Let's go 2 on either side. Consistency. I like it being nice and even, and I'll clean that up a bit later. But now we can work on a small little mob farm. So this is kind of just my standing area that I want to set up on. And how I'm going to do this, guys, is I'm going to set this up in such a way that I think I'm just going to go with 5 for now. We don't need much space. So that we can, what we'll do is we'll have our spikes on this side facing away from us so that they can send, oh my god, I almost jumped off the edge. Send stuff out. And then we don't actually need a ton of space off the bat. I'm going to give us 3, I think, and then place the mob fan here. Am I going to have enough blocks? So, if we place the mob fan, now, let's finish this off. Let's finish this off here, just so I don't have too many issues. You can see if I place the mob fan down, you can obviously see which side is kind of, this is where it intakes air, and this is where the mob fan itself comes out of. And if I'm standing right here, put a lever on top of it, and flick the lever, I count as a mob too, and I get pushed, right? So, what we're going to do is set this up in such a way that our stone spikes are right there, so that when this gets turned on, it will push things into there. Ow. Doofus. So, get rid of that guy right there. Toss it up there for now. And I think this might get us close enough. We'll see. We will see. Ooh, I hit that shift button, man. Don't embarrass yourself in front of the whole world. The wonderful internets. Oh, crap. Well, I will be coming back to clean this up later on, so. 1, 2, 3. So that's where I want my fan to be. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, pick that up. Oh, that's so slow. Does this speed it up at all? Nope. Okay. Time to be back with the pick. Okay, pick time. to pick this up. So we are going to put our mob fan down right there. We are going to put our lever on top of it. We are now going to block this thing in. Now, the interesting thing too, guys, is the mob fan itself doesn't have that large of a range. So you can see here, I'm just standing, so this is 2 blocks away from it. If we hit it, I'm actually not in range till I step inside. So the mob fan is very small off the bat. So you don't have to make a crazy big facility for it. As you go on, there are some fans to make it wider, so you can make it, it's from 3, you can go to 5, 7, 9 wide. Height, you can go higher as well, and you can also make it a distance, so you can go 10 extra spaces. But we're gonna keep things nice and small, because this does take us with some aluminium that we need, or some iron, and we don't have a ton of that yet. Oh no, that's where I'm putting my slabs. Shame on you, Ben. Ugh. I'm just having a rough go today, guys. I'm sorry. That down. There. I'm just getting us some pathway around the outside so that we can just walk our way around. We don't have to worry too much. But I will, and then we can still turn it on and off if we need to. So there we go. I mean, I'm going to pull this lever down and put it on the back, so we should allow us to turn it on still. Yeah, okay, so that's all turned on. Let's close this in, and we'll show you guys how it works. Okay, so been closing this in a little bit. You can see the mob fan is still working. We are, I'm at the top level. You can see I've made it 3 high. I want this to be able to catch Endermen as well and push them a little bit around inside. So then on our very top level, we just want to put these slabs down so that nothing can spawn on the roof as we go through this, right? Because we want all the mobs spawning in the actual farm itself to get pushed around. So we'll just finish this off. Come on. Again, this is not pretty. I plan on cleaning this up. If you guys have suggestions on things you would like to see, specific types of ugliness, if there's things that you would like to see, throw it down in the comments below, because I always appreciate your thoughts on builds and how we can make this place look better, because in the end, this guide is for the community, which means this world is for the community. So let's put the community's touch on it. So there we go. We've got our room all closed in. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a little bit of a cheeky thing. Is if I do that, the room inside still has the red X, as you can see, but it gives us a little bit of an insight to the inside to see how it's all working and everything. And I'm going to do the same. Actually, I'm going to do the same right here. So that we can see. So when I do that, it doesn't work very nicely. Ooh, it doesn't like that entity there. But we can just put a stone slab there, so we can kind of see what's happening in and what's coming towards us. And then I am just going to get out of here for a little bit and see what we can see spawning. Now, the neat little thing in here, too, there is within F3, there is an entity counter in the top left. The fourth line down, it says E. And see how it's going 0 / 13, 14, 16, 20, 20, 15, 20. So it should, from what I'm reading there, is our entities are going up. We have more there. We don't have any passive mobs spawning there yet, but we do have things coming together down below. Looks like we're up at 12, 11 out of 18, which means they should be in this chunk. I think that means that there's, yeah. So let's drop down and see what we got, guys. That's the thing. Mobs will not spawn when you're right close by, so you kind of need to go away, come back in a little bit, and go from there. So let's see. Let's see if we've got any good items here. Oh, I'm hearing some. Yeah. Look at all the mobs in there, and you can hear them all dying. I saw that skeleton, you piece of shit. So, they have a... Who is shooting me? That was very weird. So, the only thing, the downside to the way that I've set this up right now is that the mobs, everything is just kind of dropping right there. Didn't mean to screenshot that. So it's a little bit unfortunate in that regard, because we don't really have an automatic way to pick everything up yet. So I'm just going to turn this off, bust through the side, because, well, I'll wall this in next time. Ideally, it'd be nice if you could get a little bit closer, but we can't. But there's a way we can pick everything up, bust the wall, walk in. Not ideal, but it works. And then we'll just put this back together, start it back up, and let it do its thing for a while. But you can see, too, guys, that now that we've got this mob farm going, we did pick up some chance cubes, loot bags, inferium essence, rotten flesh, some arrows, some bones. So lots of things here that will help us moving forward with certain things, especially like some of the agricultural related things. Loot bags are always good. Both of these loot bags are kind of cool because you can compress them, so you can do 4 commons to make a better one and that sort of thing. But each loot bag has all sorts of fun things you can get out of this. Here we've got some packing tape, a quartz sword. I'll definitely take that. Much nicer than my, well, 1 more damage than my stone sword. We've got some barley. We've got some more string. And what about this rare loot bag? We've got a void crystal sword. Exactly the same as our black quartz. But we've got a slime sapling. We've got some slime balls. So definitely things that will help us out going down. You can get ender pearls. What we're really looking for next is some ender pearls, because what that will allow us to do is get, if I can think of what the hell it is, this one right here, the item collector and the advanced item collector. If we can get this, which obsidian we should be get very soon, that's on our achievement list. Hoppers are fairly easy, right? We just need a chest and some iron ingots, which we can sieve out no problem. But the last thing, we need the ender pearl. And what this will do, this item collector, will greatly benefit this mob farm, because what we can do is allow it to, it will collect things through walls. So it's kind of like a wireless collection agency. It just picks up any entity that is within range on the ground, and we'll throw it into whatever it's attached to. So we'll get some storage going on there, and then can automatically collect everything without busting into our mob farm. But we need the ender pearl first. So I could make kind of just a dark area, try to spawn some endermen, yada yada yada, but we'll let that thing go to work. Hopefully we get something from a loot bag or an enderman that spawns in there. But I think that's it, guys. I mean, we've covered a lot today. I apologize, this episode is a little bit longer than I normally like to do. But we've done it. We've made a dark room 24 blocks away, straight down. But, I mean, you could do it sideways and stuff if you want. We're just going for efficiency. We've done the second layer, and we've upgraded our mob farm to automatically kill the monsters. So that's fantastic. 4 things knocked out. 4 very important things, because we're going to be able to start getting animals soon, which opens up a world of possibilities as well. And having that mob farm opened up will, I mean, we're getting bones consistently. The loot bags have so many different good things that we can use all over the place. So our resource collection is getting very high now, which is fantastic. And we can, I mean, if you want to up your mob spawning, definitely you could replicate that multiple times, make more mob fans, make the upgrades for the mob fans, things that will help push it. Because I mean, like I said, the first upgrade for width, I believe, is just needs aluminium, right? Which is, we're starting to get a little bit of it here. So we could look at expanding that. We need at least probably 10 pieces of aluminium to do that. But yeah, we're in a really good place now. So lots is going on, lots we can get to. I'm excited for the next episode because we're going to start going down. I mean, we're going to show you guys how to make the obsidian. So hopefully by next episode we can make that item collector for you and show you how to do that. And then it looks like we're moving on to some tinkers. So tinkers is always fun. I mean, we've done the base level tinkers, but we're going to actually make the full tinker setup where we've got a big smeltery. We can melt down metals. We can combine metals to different things. We can cast parts, all that fun stuff. So quite exciting. And then we're really just about done the Stone Age, because then we've just got some other stuff to do. So thank you guys very much for joining us. If you've been enjoying these, smash that like button. Any comments, suggestions, corrections, throw them down in the comments below. I love to hear from you guys, even if you are yelling at me. I need friends. I like to talk to people. Do your best. Yeah, if you want to help support the channel, sub to the channel. You can also check out our Patreon page if you want to support us that way. We've got some neat little perks for being a Patreon, and including you get to see yourself in the end credits of the episode. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.